Hey students, good evening. Welcome to your very own favorite channel. So you all know what today's session is about. Well, today I'll be taking all your doubts. I think for this I have made a short video as well, asking you whatever doubts you have. You could have posed that in that form. And we have got a lot of doubts from all of you. And I think when it comes to mathematics, especially, obviously, when you try out new questions and you practice, I know you all practice a lot from your NCERT books, from different books. We do come across some kind of new questions. Sometimes we do get stuck in the questions where we already know the concept, but sometimes you do get stuck at some steps. So obviously, we come across a lot of doubts as well. So that's why I decided to come up with this session. All right. So who all we have here? Good evening, Disha. Good evening, Arya. Hi, Kushal, Shaurya. Yes, Sanvi, I know now you're in grade 11th. Good to see you here, but I think your sister must have joined. Trigonometry doubt, Srihari. As I said, today's session is about basically 3 chapters. We'll be taking the doubts of 3 chapters because already we've posted a form. We got a very good response from all of you. So many students actually responded to that. And so I'll be discussing questions from these 3 chapters today. But don't worry, for trigonometry as well, we'll keep coming up with doubt solving sessions. All right? Because I know that you try out, you would be practicing from you have your exams also coming up. So the only agenda is that can you please just move it like this? Yeah. So the only agenda is that you excel in your examinations, and for that we are putting in a lot of effort, and that you can see here with the type of sessions that we are coming up with. Yes. Most common questions what is it? I'm sure that it is not related to those 3 chapters that I'm going to discuss here today, Kushal. Hello, Astha. Hi, Ria. Doubt in triangles. I know that you all must be very curious that, ma'am, please solve our doubts, whether it's from triangles, trigonometry, and but today I'm feeling very bad to say this thing, that this session is about these 3 chapters. But yes, for sure I'll come up with some more sessions wherein we'll be discussing your doubts from trigonometry, from triangles. Don't worry about that. What you can do is you can practice other chapters as well. If you're done with it, that's great. You can accumulate your doubts. Very soon we'll come up with the doubt solving session for other chapters. Then you can come up with your doubts and then we can discuss it. Yeah? So keep accumulating it. You can jot down your doubts somewhere. Yes, Rajinder, please ask. Hi, Vedika, Danny, Kushal. Yes, Kushal, please post your doubt in the chat section. I hope it is related to this session. Good evening. Cute world, Siddhi. So many students have now joined. All right. So I think let's get started. Let's not waste any more time here. Hi, Tushar. Which is better for 10th board? What should I see? It depends on you. If you ask me, when I was in grade 10th, so at that point of time, we had an option of taking 6 subjects. 6th one was the optional. But your percentage would be counted on the basis of best 5 subjects. So I chose Sanskrit in mains and Hindi was my optional because I was good at Sanskrit and it's easy to score in Sanskrit. Rest, it all depends on you, whichever is your favorite. You want IIT JEE question series for class 10th. I hope you all enjoy the IIT JEE questions that we put up every week. How do you find such questions, by the way? How to not get distracted while studying. See, I would say that it all depends on you. It's all about your mindset. I know that these days there are a lot of distractions. It's very easy to get distracted by the mobile phone, social media and all. Even when you're studying, in the back of your mind, there's something else going on, right? So I would just say that you need to prepare your mind first, right? You need to make up your mind that while studying, I'm going to switch off my phone or I'm going to give it to my parents. At least for 1 hour when I'll sit down to study, I'll not look at my phone. Yeah? Right, Vedika. Agree with you. He's a very good motivational speaker, right? Yes, Kanu. I took that, right. But I had Hindi too, but that was my optional. Hi, Sakshi. Yes, Kushal? That's awesome, Sanvi. All right, so I think let's get started. Many people have joined. Okay, so I would just request all of you to please be ready with your notebooks and pens. I hope you all are ready because this is something which I always say whenever we come for a math class, because this subject is something which will come with practice only, right? So the mantra is practice. That's the key to success. Satyam, this question, many times people have asked me and I've answered this many times. But still I would answer to this question at the end. Yes, cute world, we will prepare you. Keep coming for the classes regularly. Yes? So you need to show the discipline that you are not going to skip even a single session. I hope all of you have subscribed to the channel. Yes? All right. So before I start, an important update. Students who are regularly coming here, they know it that we have got a Telegram channel as well, wherein we share the revision questions. We post some good homework questions. We share the session PDFs. Whatever sessions you see here, their PDFs would be shared over the Telegram channel and some interesting quizzes as well. And of course, session updates. So if you haven't joined it yet, please do join it. Link is there in the description. Right? By squaring method. Yes, you can do that. The only thing is, Ayush, it's a little time consuming, I would say. Right? Alright, so let's get started. So, 3 chapters, as I said, I'll be discussing today. Real numbers, polynomials, and pair of linear equations. So, we have got a lot of doubts, lot of questions from you all. And 20% questions here in this in today's session are going to be from real numbers, 42% from polynomials, and 42% from pair of linear equations, and 38% from polynomials. Maximum questions that the doubts that we got, that was from pair of linear equations. So this actually shows us that where you are actually stuck, what do you find the most challenging part, where you are actually struggling, right? Yes, only gaming. Please post that in the chat section. All right, so we all are ready. Shall I start? Alright, so let's get started. So a lot of doubts, as I said, we have got, and some of the doubts were common, right? So the question that I'm going to discuss today, they will be covering in all whatever doubts you all had, that you had actually sent us, that you actually shared with us. The first is, I cannot understand how to prove an irrational number like root 2. And another was, how do we prove under root 2, under root 3, under root 5 irrational? First of all, I tell you one thing. This particular, these both are same. These are the doubts which we have got from different students. I tell you something, this is one question which you will definitely, like there are higher chances that you will find such questions in the paper. Maximum number of times it is asked from the real numbers. Please do prepare such kind of questions. They are generally asked in 3 markers. Okay, let's take a look. How do we prove? You all know that root 2 is an irrational number, right? It has got a non-terminating and not repeating decimal expansion. How do we prove that it's an irrational number? There are certain steps that we need to follow. And see, if you miss out on those steps, higher chances are that you would end up getting the marks deducted. And I know that nobody wants that to be done, right? So let's see that. First of all, you would first assume that this is a rational number. So here we prove this with the method of contradiction. I hope you all are aware of the contradiction method, right? So if root 2 is a rational number, let's first assume that what is the general representation for a rational number? Quickly, I want everyone to solve along with me so that we can utilize this 30-45 minutes of the class. We don't have to go through all over again to the entire material, whatever we discussed today. Yes, Rajinder, you're right. I'm sure that students who have already given their unit tests, and if real numbers was a part of their syllabus, definitely this kind of questions must be there. So first, we need to see all these important points. These are very important that you have to mention it. Otherwise, definitely, इन चीजों के लिए marks deduct होते हैं. Like B has to be 0. B should not be equal to 0. Why this should not be equal to 0? Because if denominator is 0, this will be not defined, right? And A and B have to be co-prime. I hope you all are aware what co-prime is. Co-prime is when they have nothing common between them. That means A and B have got only one common factor. A and B have only one as their common factor. Nothing common between them. Even while doing Menti, when we come across such terms, co-prime and all, generally students are confused. What does this actually mean, right? Yes, Khyati, that's given, right? Boards mein to expected hai. Correct. Sanvi, you were lucky that it was MCQ. All right. So first of all, let's take this to the other side. These are the steps that we have to follow. B root 2 equals to A. Then we do squaring both sides. That becomes what? If you do squaring both sides here, so B square would be B square, root 2 square would be 2, and this will be A square. What does it show? If you divide both sides by 2, this shows what? This shows that 2 divides B square. That means it should divide, here 2 is dividing b square, right me? And it is dividing. This a square is divisible by 2, so you can say that a will also be divisible by 2. Let me give you one example. 2 square, that is 4. 4 is divisible by 2, right? That means 4 could be written as 2 square. I can say 2 square is divisible by 2. That means 2 is also divisible by 2. This is nothing but this is the fundamental theorem of arithmetic which states it. Yes, it's easy, it's scoring. I know here students get stuck with in remembering the steps, right? But that will come with the practice, don't worry. So you have shown that here a is divisible by 2, right? Now let's suppose that is a is equal to 2c. Why 2c? Because we are talking about this root 2 over here. So generally pick up the numbers in such a way so that we can show here that it further this number will also be divisible. Okay, so let's suppose a is 2c. So I'm going to put it here. A is 2c. So 2b square equal to, this becomes 2b square equal to 2c whole square. That's going to be 2b square equal to 4c square. Now this gets cancelled out. 2 times 1, 2 times 2. We can say that b square is equal to 2c square. What does it show? Here you can see that 2 divides b square. That means it divides b as well. So b square is divisible by 2. That means b is also divisible by 2. What did we see? We saw that both a and b, they both are divisible by 2. That means they both have 2 as their common factor. That means they are not co-prime. So this contradicts our assumption that a and b are co-prime. This is wrong, right? So that means root 2 is irrational. That's wrong. Root 2 is an irrational number. Yes. Yes, hi Anushka. Any doubts in these kind of questions? Quickly tell me, just quickly let me know in the chat section if you have any doubt in this particular question. Ma'am, 3 plus root 2, 4 ma'am ये questions हो तो हमें root 4 ही prove करना है या complete question. Rajinder, let me just note down your question. You are saying 3 plus root 2, 4 ma'am. What is, okay, is this your question? Okay, if you come across such kind of questions, let's say they ask you, prove that 3 plus root 2 is irrational, right? One way is to do it. First you prove root 2 irrational. This way, I'm telling you 2 ways. This way you prove root 2 irrational, right? Once you have shown that root 2 is irrational, then we know that the sum of a rational and irrational will always give you a irrational number. You can write this final statement, then you can say that 3 plus root 2 is irrational. Another simpler way I would say to do it is, first you can assume that this is rational. 3 plus root 2 is irrational. 3 plus root 2, is rational. Let's say it is equals to p by q. Now let's take this 3 to the other side. You have to mention q not equal to 0, p and q are co-prime. This has to be mentioned every time. So let's take to the other side. I'm telling you both the ways. So here root 2 would be equals to p by q minus 3. You take LCM, simplify this, it's going to be p minus 3q by q. Then you would say that definitely if p, q and 3, they all are rational, this will also be rational. And how is it possible that an irrational number is equal to rational? Hence, proves that this is irrational. This is a smaller way to do it rather. Yes, yes Riya, common factor of a and b, like the question that I solved here was 2. Yes Manya, a lot many times it is asked in the paper. I hope you are clear with both the methods. Ma'am, when root 2 will be written as plus root 2 and... Manoj, I'm not able to understand the question. Where are you asking? Like, where are we supposed to write it? Yes, Anushka, when we started our channel, so initially I remember I used to tell my name to the students. Now I've stopped saying this. Well, my name is Khushbu and I'm a math educator here. I think you are new in this class. First live class. I hope you are liking it. Yes. Any questions in this type of questions? Quickly. Root 2, root 3. Yes, that's the same, the longer one. But in that one also, like root 2 plus root 3, you can do squaring both sides. And then you can prove it. How we write root? I'm not able to understand. How we write root? Any other doubts? Yes. When 3 shifted, it will be 3p. Chirantan, it's p by q. It will be 3q. P minus 3q by q. Alright, I hope this is clear. This is one type that is clear. Now let's move ahead to the polynomials question. So this is another doubt that we got from the students. If alpha and beta are the roots of the equation x square minus 5x plus 6 equal to 0, find alpha minus beta. Trust me, this is one question. This is one type of questions where maximum students get stuck. What is question saying? You have this equation, right? Now, you have to find out what alpha minus beta is. So, tell me, how will you start these kind of questions? I tell you one thing, when you come across such kind of questions, the very first thing that you should do is start finding out the sum and product of zeros. Yes? Okay, let's find out the sum of zeros first. What will be the sum of zeros? We know that that's minus b by a. So that's going to be minus of minus 5 by 1, which is going to give you 5 if you compare here. This general form, ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Now, what is product of zeros? That's going to be c by a. What is c here? Constant term. That's going to be 6. 6 upon 1, that's going to give you 6. This should be your first steps whenever you come across such kind of questions. If nothing is clicking your mind, you know, don't know how to start with, start from here. Please note down these small things, because when you will solve questions from any other reference book, you would come across such kind of questions. Obviously, NCERT, it is not there. By middle term splitting, Danny, I tell you one thing. For this question, middle term splitting might work, but let's suppose you come across a question where middle term splitting method is not applicable. What would you do there? There you can start with this. Right? Okay, so what will you do? Now comes the major part. How do I find out the value of alpha minus beta from here? So we all know the algebraic identities, right? So alpha minus beta, start with the identity, because otherwise question mein there is no other link. So we are trying to create a link here. Alpha minus beta whole square, it's what? Alpha square plus beta square minus 2 alpha beta. I have the value of alpha beta here, right? What is alpha beta? I can put it here, but I do not have the value of alpha square plus beta square. That I can get from alpha plus beta whole square, right? That's going to be alpha square plus beta square plus 2 alpha beta. What is alpha plus beta? You have that value 5. You can put it here, right? You have alpha beta, that's 6. You can put it here. Then you can say alpha square plus beta square plus 2 times 6. That's going to be what? 25 equals to alpha square plus beta square plus 12. From here you get the value of alpha square beta square. Then you can put it here. Yes, I hope this is clear. Any doubts? So simply we have the value of sum of zeros. We have product of zeros, right? As I said, you will be using these two identities so that you can get the value of alpha minus beta whole square. That's going to be 5 square minus 24. That's 1. So it's going to be plus minus 1. Generally, students, what they do is, they would say alpha minus beta would be equal to 1. Please, it's a root here. You will have two values, positive and negative. We have to consider both. Yes, Chirantan, I hope it is clear now. Jitendra, no doubt. Sheikh, it's very simple. First, our very first step should be we find out the sum of zeros, right? We find out the product of zeros. Now comes the main step. I need alpha minus beta. So I'll be using this identity, right? But you will get stuck here because you don't have the value of alpha square plus beta square. For that, you will be using the another identity. Yes, it will be equal to x, right? You are saying root x whole square. Square root and this 2, they will get cancelled out. That would be x, right, Nitin? Suman, yes. Like Danny also said one thing, ki ma'am, can we not do middle term splitting and then write it? You can do that. You can do that. Is question pe, it is possible. Let's suppose I give you an equation wherein you cannot apply middle term splitting method. What will you do there? There you will have to go ahead with this method. Right? So in math, this is the thing that we need to know multiple ways to solve questions. Yes, good Lal. Yeah. Because Manoj, whenever you take, because see, final answer is alpha minus beta equals to square root of 1. When you say square root of 1, answer would be both positive, negative. Reason being, if I have positive root 1 whole square, that will give me 1. If I had negative 1 root whole square, negative root 1 square, that will also be positive 1. Right? That's why two values are there. All doubts clear, Janvi? Great. Clear, Chirantan? Ekta? I think you are new here. Yes, that's the beauty of math. It makes you to think in different ways. New here. I hope you're liking the session. See, that's what I always tell you. Whenever we are doing a session and you have any doubts, because even after the session, obviously, I know that you do practice questions. If you have any doubts, please post that in the chat section, in the comment section after the session, because it will remain there. Yes, later on we can pick up such questions and we will come up with the solution as well. IIT aspirant, these are the questions that we have got from the students. It's basically a doubt solving session. So students have posted these doubts. So we have come up here with a live so that we can just clear whatever doubts they had. Clear. All right, let's move ahead. Find the value of k for the equation having infinitely many solutions. 3k minus k plus 1 y equals to 20 and k plus 2 times x minus 10y equals to 40. What is the keyword here? We need the value of k. Equation is given. Question already says it has got infinitely many solution. What do we do? In such questions, use the logic. See, the general form of linear equation in two variables is a1x plus b1y plus c1 equal to 0 and a2x plus b2y plus c2 equals to 0. Right? That's the general form. Rajendra, I will just come up to this question. I'll answer that in a while. So, infinitely many solution, we know the condition that a1 by a2 is equals to b1 by b2 is equal to c1 by c2. Using this condition, we have to solve this question. And trust me, this is one type, whether in the question there can be infinitely many solution, there can be unique solution, and the question could be on that it has got, the lines are parallel, something could be written like no solution. So you need to know the conditions for all of them, and seriously, we come across questions in the paper on this type as well. Class started at 4, Ekta. I think you are new here. Please subscribe to the channel so that later on you would keep getting the notifications whenever we have a session. Yeah? Manoj, ma'am, क्या हमेशा रूट को वैल्यू हम प्लस माइनस मिलेंगे? Yes, always. जब भी हम रूट शिफ्ट कर रहे हैं, whenever you are shifting the square to the other side, it becomes a root. We always have both the values positive as well as negative, right? But later on you have to see whether both the values are possible for the question or not. That I'll tell you. But still, answers, it has to be given at the final answer in such a way that it has both positive and negative. Sri Hari, ma'am, what does it mean when we get only 0 as a result? Elimination, does it mean? Yes, no solution. Right, k is 4. You already solved it. Okay, so simply this is the condition. Let's put it here. So from here, if I just compare it, here a1 is 3, right? And a2 over here is k plus 2. So a1 by a2. b1 is minus of k plus 1. b2 is minus 10. Let's put it here. And c1 by c2. First, you take it to the other side. They both are going to be negative. Even if they are negative, minus 20 and minus 40, they will cancel out. Yes, Janil, that is deleted from this year's syllabus. Still, if you want to practice it, you can do that, right? Okay, so here, what is it? We just have to simplify it to get the value of k. So rather, going with this, I will take, you can take any one of them. Minus minus gets cancelled. I'm taking these two. They all are equal. You can pick any pair. So I have k plus 1 by 10 equals to 20 by 40. So 2 times 20 times 1, 20 times 2, 2 times 1, and this is 5. Let's cross multiply this. I'll have k plus 1 equals to 5. So that's going to be k is equals to 5 minus 1. That's going to be 4. This is one way. So we have checked from here. Now let's pick up another one as well. Let's suppose I can take this and this. They are also equal. So I can say that 3 upon k plus 2 is equals to 20 by 40. Yes, Chirantan, that is also deleted, completing the square method. Still, if you want to, sorry, I was just reading the comment. So, still, if you want to practice it, it's good. Knowledge is never going to get wasted, right? ये session Friday को होना चाहिए था. Why is it so? Because you have your schools. Because I know that now this is Monday. So generally on Mondays, teachers give you a lot of work, lot of assignments to do. But when it is Friday, at least you are free. Your mind is free that, okay, now we have to go to school on Monday. We still have got 2 days to complete all our assignments and everything. Manoj, I tell you one thing. Okay, let me just simplify this question and I'll tell you. So here we have this... you will just simplify this, you get k plus 2 and just cross multiply that. You get k equals to 4 and from both of them. So Manoj is asking, क्या root का value हमेशा plus minus मिलेंगे? I tell you one thing, like in the previous question you saw this thing, alpha minus beta whole square equal to 1. Whenever you shift the square to the other side, it becomes a root, right? You will not simply say it's root 1. You will always say it's plus minus 1, right? Question ends here. In this question, it was valid. Sometimes we come across word problems wherein we get the answer at the end, positive, negative. We get it both the signs, but we neglect one value because we say that I'm just giving you an example. We say that, okay, distance can't be negative. So I cannot consider the negative one. Time cannot be negative, right? That is subjective to questions. But yes, if you are asking them after this, what will come? This should be your step, right? I can see a lot of questions now in the chat. Please help me understand. I mean, the form was, we shared the form and like I was assuming that everybody must have posted their doubts. Is it like you did not know about it, so you could not post your doubts, or what is it? Yes, Rajrashi, please. I think you are new here. If you have any doubts, please post that in the chat section. Difference between conditions of unique and no solution. So Harsh, difference between the conditions, it's very simple. For unique solution, we say that a1 by a2 will not be equals to b1 by b2. In that case, the lines would be intersecting, right? Because these are linear equations. They're always straight lines. They would be intersecting at a common point, and that gives you the unique solution. When you say no solution, so a1 by a2 would be equal to b1 by b2, but that will not be equal to c1 by c2. In that case, when you plot it on a graph, the lines would be parallel. No solution is possible. They're never going to meet each other, right? Namaste, Sumati. I think you are new here. How many chapters of math you all have completed the form reference book? Shanti, I think this is the question that you're asking from the students. Reduced of... Yes. Check whether the following are quadratic equations. So yes, these kind of questions, it's a very simple question. You just have to check it, simplify this. If you find any variable is left with a square power, it will be quadratic, otherwise it won't be. Simple one, Ali. Yes. Wow, that's great, Swap. What is your actual name? I know that you are using a different ID. All right. So I hope this type is clear. Students have asked their doubts about infinitely solution, unique solution, no solution. Yes. All right, let's move ahead to the another type. Solve for x and y, 3x plus 2y equals to 11 by 3 and minus 7x plus 5y equal to 31 by 3. The student who posted this doubt, I think, I'm thinking where you would have actually got confused. See, one way to do is, because there are fractions involved, so calculation becomes very complicated, right? Otherwise, it's very simple question. My name of the method is not mentioned. We can use any method here. Either you can do one thing. One way to do is you take this 3 to the other side, right? It will become very simple. Once I take 3 to the other side, it's going to be 3 times 3x plus 2y equals to 11. Another one would be 3 times minus 7x. After this, you tell me, which method would you prefer if you had to solve this question? Tell me. It's a very simple question. You would also say that. What do you think? Is the student here who had this doubt? Yes. Quickly. Yes, everyone. See, don't worry, we will come up with more doubt solving sessions, but one request I have from you is, I can see a lot many students are now posting their doubts here. So from next time onwards, because I hope you all have subscribed to the channel, you have hit the bell icon as well, so that you keep getting notifications from us, whatever videos that we are posting. So we actually posted a form for this, wherein you could actually post whatever doubts you have for these 3 chapters. So I'm just asking this, did you not know about it? Did you actually didn't know about it, that there is a form, or you didn't know how to post your doubts? Yes, I also, because it came in our, sorry, I could not read the entire comment. Cross multiplication, that substitution method. Some are saying elimination. Okay. This is asked that difference between 2 digits, when what will be right? I'll answer this question, Manoj. Let me just complete with this question, then you can post your doubt again. Okay. So one way is that we cross multiply this, and this will become very simple then. 9x plus 6y equals to 11, and this would be minus 21x plus 15y equals to 31. Now the equations are very simple. We can easily solve this using any of the method. Chirantan, this was your doubt. Okay, great. You didn't know about the form, Satyam, Suman? I hope you all have subscribed to the channel. Quickly, students, first do this thing, because I can see a lot many students are now posting their doubts. I do not want you to miss on these opportunities, because I know that in maths we do struggle with a lot many challenging things. Sometimes we get stuck at a calculation. Sometimes we have very small doubts, like square leke jana hai, positive negative sign aayega. Why are we neglecting this value? I know we do come across very small things. Please quickly everyone, first subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so that you keep getting notifications from us, so that you do not miss on these small things. Yes, Rajinder, please post your doubts. See, the chat moves fast. It becomes difficult for me sometimes to read the comment from each one of you. Yes, Mitrai, ma'am. All right. So we can simplify this. Another way to do is, what we can do here. We can simply, I'm just going to show you the solution. One way to do is this one. Another way is I'll simply multiply the equation 1 by 7 and second one by third. You tell me which method will you prefer. The previous one which I showed you or this one? Chirantan, Pravin, Patil. So what should I call? Pravin or Chirantan? Because it's a really long name. Rajinder, name से एक question ऊपर है. Okay. All right. So here we are equating equation number 1 by 7 and second by 3. Why? Because we are applying elimination method. I hope you all are aware of the elimination method. So this, if I multiply this by 7, let's multiply this by 7. Each of these terms will be multiplied by 7. 3x multiplied by 7 will give you 21x. Yes, Ekta, please post whatever doubt you have. Previous one is good, right, Bhumi? Okay, and then 7 times 2y is going to be 14y. Yeah, yes. Which lesson? It's linear equations that I'm explaining right now. And 11 by 3 times 7, that's going to be 77 by 3. I tell you, personally, I would not use this method. Reason being, I would suggest you one thing. Please note down this thing. In the entire math, always keep this thing in mind. Try avoiding decimals and fractions. There would be lesser chances of making errors then. I think math may, even if you know how to solve questions, where do we generally get stuck is while solving them, while doing calculations, right? We end up making errors. So avoid decimals, avoid fractions, right? Harsh, sorry, but very soon I'll come up with trigonometry also. All right, so that's going to be minus 20. Now here I'm going to multiply this entire equation by 3. So minus 7x times 3, that's minus 21x. Minus 3 times 5 is 15y, and this is going to be 93 by 3. Now you see both of them have got minus 21x and positive 21x. Simply add them up. They will get cancelled out. What will you have? 14y plus 15y is 29y, and both of these are equal to 170 by 3. Let's take 29 here. You will get 170 by 87. I hope this is clear. Right, Sanvi, agree with you. Fractions will be ठीक है, but decimals, avoid it. Alka, can we multiply by 3 to remove fraction? Yes, you can do that. I think, Alka, this is what I explained on the previous slide. I shifted 3 to the other side. You are saying multiplied by 3. That is also the same thing. Means same. NK Pandey, to solve what I have asked at least 2 times. I didn't remember. I'm Tanya. Sorry, Tanya, I missed that question. Yes. How I'm getting 170? Okay, I'm writing the whole step with you. For you, 21x plus 14y equals to 77 by 3. This is minus 21x plus 15y equal to 93 by 3. You will add them up, right? Gets cancelled out. 14y and 15y, 29y, 77 plus 93, right? That's going to give you 170 upon 3. Simple one. Ekta, I'm not able to understand the question. Class is not download. Can we do it by elimination, Arya? By elimination and substitution? Yes, you can do that. Arya, any method you can apply. That's okay. Yes, I just explained, Arya, that I just explained it to you. How am I getting 170? Ria, clear? Yes. Quickly, everyone, just give me thumbs up at least. See, it's a live session. Come on, if you will not tell me, ma'am, yes, it is clear. Now you can move ahead. How will I get to know? Okay. Ali Sayyed Rizvi. Basically, this is a session. It's a doubt solving session on 3 chapters: real numbers, polynomials, linear equations. Right? We're already done with the questions of polynomials and real numbers. Now I'm taking doubts for linear equations. Baswaraj, I know that you might have practiced. It's a very good question that you're asking from arithmetic progressions, but very soon I'll come up with a doubt solving session on other chapters as well. Yes. Yes, Aya, what doubt you have? Baswaraj, clear? Alpha plus beta by alpha. Yes, Rajinder. Thank you, Sheikh. Yes, Priyanshi, very simple. One way to do is that you multiply this equation by 7 and this by 3. And then you eliminate it. Another better way is you multiply 3 on the other, you take this 3 on the other side. Equation will be very simple then. Yes, it will be like this. Will be like this once I take this 3 to the other side. Yes, Rajendra, please ask. All right. Okay, I hope this is clear now. This is the value of y, 170 by 87. Now we have got the value of y. Let's substitute this in any equation. Generally, we prefer the simpler ones. First one seems simpler. Let's put it here. What do I get? 3x plus 2 times 170 by 87 equals to 11 by 3. Now comes the most, I would say, terrible part, the calculation. So 3x is equal to 11 by 3 minus 340 by 87. Why 340? 2 times 170 is 340. Yes, Chirantan, I'll come up with that very soon. It's on YouTube, Ekta. Yes, I just explained that how I got 170. Problem solving questions. Bhumi, you're talking about the word problems, right? See, students, I can see that many students could not post their doubts, but don't worry, we'll come up with a doubt session very soon. But what you can do is you can just post your doubts in the comment section of this session. After the session, we will pick up from there. Simran. Simi. Okay. Nice name. Yes, Ali Sayyad Rizvi. I'll answer to this question at the end of the session. Let me just complete with all the questions that I've got. All right. So have patience. Don't worry. I'll answer to your question. So here, I'm just going to simplify it, LCM and all. I know that's a calculative part here. And then you can get the answer of, the value of x. That's going to be minus 7 by 87. Thank you, Chirantan. Is this clear? Yes. I know that you have got other doubts also. You want to ask so many questions. Hello, Yash. PT1 is going on. Okay, some more questions that we've got from students is, somebody asked, what is the difference between roots and real roots? So I tell you something, when you talk about roots, roots are something that those values which you actually substitute in a polynomial and the final value of the polynomial becomes equal to 0. Tell me who asked this question. And that value of the root could be real, it could be complex. Now you might be thinking what complex roots are. This is something that you would learn in grade 11th. So we're not going to discuss that now. Now talking about real roots. So whatever numbers can be plotted on the real number line, they are real roots. Whatever you study on the number line now, till now, whatever you have studied, it's all real numbers. Real numbers include rational numbers, they include irrational numbers, right? I think they include everything, like integers, like minus 3, 5, you have 1 by 3, you have root 1. So these all are real roots, right? Or let's say you have root 7, all real roots. PT1 is going on. Oh. Yes. All right. Another question. Who asked this question, by the way? Whose question is this? I'm sure that person should be here. Yes, son. We will learn it very soon. Don't worry, Jitendra. Soon we are going to come up with that. Yes. Another question is a cube plus b cube and a plus b whole cube same? It's a very good question. I have seen students making mistakes in algebraic identities many times. They are different. They are not same. See, a plus b whole cube. You all have learnt it. What is it? It's a cube plus b cube plus 3ab bracket a plus b. Right? What is a cube plus b cube? It's a part of this identity. So obviously, indeed, they are different. If you ask me to find out the value of a cube plus b cube from here, what I'll do? I'll take everything to the other side, all this to the other side. That's going to be equals to a plus b whole cube minus 3ab. In the bracket, I've got a plus b. There is a difference, please. Many times when we ask students to find out the value of a square plus b square, right? So what they do is they think that a plus b whole square and a square plus b square is same. They are not same. There is a difference, right? There is a difference. This is just a part of this identity. Please keep these small things in your mind. Please note them down somewhere if you don't know it. Yes. Yes, complex numbers, I think students are asking about that. Please, this is something that you will learn in grade 11. So don't worry about it right now. Yes. Jitendra, what is it? Which identity are we talking about? There is no such identity. Yes. Another question, for the questions like, somebody is asking, ma'am, for the questions like find the polynomial or value of the polynomial. Like we have a plus b in polynomials question. First we should find the zeros of the polynomial or what. I think this is something that I have answered to this question while I was solving polynomials question. What did I tell you? When they ask you to find out the value of the polynomial, they ask you to create a polynomial, frame a polynomial. The very first thing that you should do is, yes, find out the zeros if it is possible using the middle term splitting. Otherwise, use the relationship that sum of zeros, alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a, and alpha beta is equal to c by a. I hope I have understood your question. I think this is what you meant. Co-prime. Somebody asked what are co-prime? They are this which have nothing common between them. Like 2 and 3, they have nothing common, right? Yes. Next is, how much questions should I practice daily? I think many of you would have this question in your mind. So I would say if you are consistent in studies, every day I would say that 1 hour math or 45 minutes math practice is enough. But it has to be consistent. Every day you have to do it. Right? It's not that I'll sit 1 day or 2 days in a week, 5 hours at a stretch, 3 hours at a stretch. Please, nobody can do that. And even if you're able to do it, obviously productivity won't be that good. Right? You are not able to retain things in a better way. So the right way is we should be consistent. But yes, less hours of study every day. If you can do more, that is great. All right, next is, so I think these were the doubts that we got from students. Let's move ahead. Now somebody has this doubt, ma'am, I have a doubt when substituting an elimination of an equation like this. See, one way to do is, better way I would say. First I'll give you the better one, how to do it. Now you also tell me which method would you prefer. What I would say here is, after the decimal point there is 1 digit. Here as well after the decimal point 1 digit. Here as well after the decimal point 1 digit. So if I multiply the entire equation by 10, right, because there is only 1 digit after the decimal point, it will become 2x, this will become 3y, this will become 13. Simple equation. Similarly here also, see, after the decimal point, you've got only 1 digit. Multiply entire equation by 10, that's going to be 4x plus 5y equals to 23. Who asked this question? Yes, Anvi, right? Multiply by 10. By divide. Yes, Yash. Either you multiply or you can remove the decimal also, same thing. Even if I remove the decimal, see. Somebody asked, what if I remove the decimal here? You remove the decimal, remove the decimal, remove the decimal. Still, it's going to be 2x plus 3y 13. Similarly here as well. Same thing. And then you can go ahead with any of the methods, whether substitution or elimination. Some are saying, another way to do is, though I would not prefer this method though, but still, this is another way. It all depends on you, whatever you find convenient. Let's suppose if you go ahead with substitution 1, let's find out the value of one variable from the first equation. Let's say I'm finding out x. That's going to be 1.3 equal to 0.3y point upon 0.2. See, as I always say, avoid decimals. Right? Kab class hota hai, time bata dein. Please, Ekta, have you subscribed to the channel first? Tell me. Have you joined the Telegram channel? Have you subscribed the YouTube channel? If you have done that, you would keep getting the notifications. Don't worry. Yes, Yash, right. It becomes too much complicated, right? That's why. Avoid decimals. Now, we have the value of x. Let's substitute here in equation number 2. That's going to be very complicated, isn't it? So let's put it here. A lot of calculation is involved now. So this will cancel out. You get 2. 2 times 1.3 minus 0.3y plus 0.5y equal to 2.3. Simplify this. What will you get? You have y equal to 3. Yes, I hope this is clear. Yes, Shafi, you are late. A lot of questions we have discussed. Right, Yash? Agree? So, we all have learned this lesson. We will avoid decimals, we will avoid fractions. Trust me, this is one thing. You will feel that if we start applying these small things while doing calculations, you would feel that math is not difficult. Even calculations are not that difficult. But we need to know the right strategy, how to approach such questions, which are very calculative. Yes, Ekta? Yes, you have done that, right? So you would get the notifications. You are in grade 10th, right? So y is 3. Now we need the value of x. Let's put it in any of the equations. You can use first one also, second one also. If I'm putting that in the first one, let's suppose. So here I'll put it here. And this is going to be 1.3 minus 0.9 by 0.2, 0.4 by 0.2. It will be cancelled out. You get 0. We have the values of both x and y. Ma'am, we can't cancel out those who are surrounded by plus, another with multiply. Surround by plus, another with multiply. Can you give me one example, Akshay, what you're exactly asking? I think I'm able to understand your question, but just give me a proper example so I'll be able to answer you better. Yes, Bhumi, that's what I was saying. So, prefer the first method, which I showed you. Thank you, Ansh. All right, another way, elimination method also you asked. That's simple to eliminate it. If I multiply equation number 1 and 2 by 10, we get this. Now let's do one thing. I can do this way as well. If I multiply this equation by 2, this will become 4x, right? Another way, see there are multiple ways in maths, right? And this time I feel like telling you everything, but we are short of time. So anyways, so we multiply equation 3 by 5 and 4 by 3, this by 5 and this by 3. So 2x times 5, that's 10x, 3x times 3, this is 15 by, this is 65, 12x plus 15 by 69. Yes. So on simplifying, we get the value of x. You can put it in any of the equations. From there, you would get the value of 5. Pretty simple one. So here you saw that first we removed the decimals, the calculation. You could see that it becomes very simple. Mathematical problems. What type of problems you would come across? There are speed problems. There are, speed, distance, time problems. There would be riverboat problems. There would be age problem, number problems. So many problems. But don't worry, it's still very easy. It's simple. It's interesting also. Yes. Can we cut 3 by 3, 3 plus 3? Okay, Akshay's question is, can we? Okay, Akshay, you reminded me of, because I've seen many students doing it. What students generally do, they would cancel out it like this. So answer is plus 3. But that's not the right way, right? What do? See, we have this 3 in the denominator, so it's common for both of them. It's common for both of them. This will get cancelled out. Here also it will get cancelled out. So 1 plus 1 will finally give me 2. Another way to do it, another way is, I will simply take out 3 common from the numerator. What will I have? 1 plus 1 by 3. Still answer is 2. I hope Akshay have answered to your question. Yes. Usha, middle term splitting method, I think this is something that you require practice. Now that you're in grade 10th, you would come across questions wherein the equations would be very complicated. But don't worry, what we can do is we can make some videos for that so that this is also clear. Many students are asking about the middle term splitting method. Yes. Yes, any doubts? The students who are saying that word problems are difficult, I know that students do find them difficult, but don't worry. I'll explain you the ways, I'll tell you the strategies, how you can, what the right approach should be. You will find them very simple then. All right, let's move ahead to the next question. This is from polynomials. If alpha and beta are the zeros, find a quadratic polynomial such that alpha plus beta is equal to 24 and alpha minus beta is equals to 8. A quadratic polynomial having and as its zeros. See, this is the question I'm sure that you might not be able to understand because this is what we got from the student. But what it is mean actually, question says that you have to form a quadratic polynomial, right? And where alpha and beta are the zeros, and we're already given that sum of the zeros is 24 and difference between the zeros is 8. Now you have to frame the quadratic polynomial. How do you frame a quadratic polynomial? So that's basically x square minus sum of zeros times x plus product of zeros. What is sum of zeros here? That is given. Right? Sum of zeros is 24. I can simply put it here, 24x, but I don't know what product of zeros is, right? I don't know what product of zeros is. That I need to find out. How are we going to find out the product of zeros? I know many students are saying here, Akshay also said, I don't know. Yes, tech by Mr. NR, middle term splitting. Don't worry. Here today, we are short of time. I won't be able to explain you the entire method because if you are facing doubts in that, definitely you are facing problems in some particular questions. I am sure that you are in grade 10th, you know the basic concept. But what I'll do is I'll come up with a session wherein we can discuss this method in detail, right? All right, so here we need the product of zeros. So what do I do? You tell me. How do I find out the product of zeros here? I need alpha, beta. Yes, what do you think? Is it mandatory if question says by factorization? Yes. See, when you are going to write your paper, you know that it is subjective, right? So if in the question it is mentioned, use factorization method, in that case you have to use factorization method only. Do not use any other method, right? Yes. I don't, library Pahadi, please, I need, how do we find this out? Yes, how do we find this out? See, I just told you we can use the relations that we have, right? You know one thing, we have used this, but now I'm going to use this. Because in the question it is given, so definitely there must be something why it is given in the question. Yes, now you can understand, yes? We have another session, yes. So alpha minus beta whole square is equal to alpha square plus beta square minus 2 alpha beta. Okay. So I have the value of alpha minus beta. I can put it here. But I don't have this value. If I have the value of alpha square plus beta square, I can find alpha beta. That also we can find out using this identity alpha plus beta whole square, alpha square plus beta square plus 2 alpha beta, right? Yes, we can use this, right? Quickly everyone. By using general equations, right? Correct, by using the general equations. So if I have the general equation here, we know that product of zeros is what? How can we find this out? Check with RG, don't worry. I'll come up with that as well. Simply, I have this equation alpha minus beta whole square is this, alpha plus beta is whole square is equal to this. From here, I can take this value. That's going to be alpha minus beta's whole square minus 2 alpha beta. What I'm going to do this with this value, I'm going to put it here in this equation. So this becomes alpha minus beta whole square, alpha plus beta whole square minus 4 alpha beta. I have this value, I have this value. Let's put everything here and you get alpha beta, that's 128, right? So x square minus 24x plus 128. Yes. Alpha plus, yes, I have used two identities, alpha minus beta whole square and alpha plus beta whole square. Thank you, Nuwan. See, I hope that these kind of sessions like doubt solving session that we are coming up here with, I hope you actually find them fruitful. Bye, Sanvi. Right? So, I hope this is clear. Two identities we are using, alpha plus beta whole square, alpha minus beta whole square to get the value of alpha beta, right? So you take this here, put it here. This is going to be what? Alpha minus beta whole square. Alpha square plus beta square is what? Alpha minus beta whole square minus 2 alpha beta minus 2 alpha beta already there. This becomes minus 4 alpha beta. Yes? It's okay. All right. So I hope this is clear. We have got the final polynomial. Let's move ahead to the next question. A sailor goes 8 km downstream in 40 minutes and returns in 1 hour. Find the speed of the sailor in still water and speed of current. Trust me, upstream, downstream questions are very important from paper point of view. See, question is saying, sailor goes 8 km downstream. 8 km downstream. Downstream means it is with the flow of the water, with the flow of the current, right? In 40 minutes and returns in 1 hour. So this is downstream, this is upstream. We are going to use the basic concept of speed equal to distance upon time, right? But I don't know what downstream speed is, what upstream speed is. Let's suppose speed of still water and speed of current. First we'll have to assume them, right? Yes, first we will assume them, still water speed and speed of current. Let's understand this. See, let's suppose speed in still water is x kilometer per hour. Speed of current is y kilometer per hour. I hope you all are aware, whenever we go downstream, it is with the flow. Suppose you are sitting in a boat, right, and you're going with the flow, so definitely the speed of the boat will increase because you're going with the flow of the water. So in that case, downstream speed is x plus y kilometer per hour. But when you're sitting in a boat, you're going against the flow of water. Water is going this side, you are trying to move this side. There will be a lot of resistance, right, to the boat. In that case, the speed reduces. That's going to be x minus y kilometer per hour. Trust me, this is one step where maximum students make errors, right? So, simply, I have the distance. When I'm talking about downstream, I said I'll be using the basic formula, speed equal to distance upon time. Let's first discuss downstream case. What is the speed? Speed for downstream is x plus y. What is the distance? That's 8 kilometer. And what is the time? It is taking 40 minutes, right? 40 minutes. 40 minutes means what? That means 40 by 60 if I convert this into hours, right? So this is going to be what? This is 0 and 0 will get cancelled out. And this is 2 times 2, 2 times 3. So x plus y, here 8 is getting, this is going to be x plus y equals to 12. That's going to be your first equation which is shown here also. Yes. Another one. Returns in 1 hour. It's the upstream case. When it is returning in 1 hour, okay, so what is the speed? Speed is x minus y. Distance is same. It is returning, right, in 1 hour. Time is 1 hour here. So we have the equation x minus y equals to 8. That's my equation number 2, right? So we have got both the equations. Now you can use any of the methods. We are using substitution here. You can use elimination method also. So you get the value of y, that's 2. Now you can put the value of y in any of the equations. You can get the value of x, that's 10. So we have the speed of sailor in still water as well as in current. Do not forget to write the units. That's very important. Yes. Yes, anyone? Any doubts? Is it mandatory if question says to do through factorization? But if you do the same with the help of QE, then answer will be same as a factorization or different. QE, what is that, Akshay? Akshay, you're asking if question is, yes, it is mandatory. Whatever method is mentioned, you have to use that. Less than cumulative frequency, greater than, don't worry. I know that you want to ask doubts from different chapters also, but this session is actually dedicated for these 3 chapters, but very soon I'll come up with that. Why 40 on 60? Okay, because we assumed in kilometer per hour, right? R is there. This is in minutes, so I'll have to convert this in hour first. That's why 40 by 60. How do you convert minute into hours? You divide by 60. Yes, sometimes you give the right value, you forget to write the units, and you end up losing marks. That's why I keep reiterating on that. At some point of time, you might find it very irritating why ma'am keeps saying that again and again, but it's very important. That's why I keep saying this. Quadratic equation. So Akshay, if it is written factorization method, please go ahead with factorization method only. Otherwise, I will not say 0, but yes, some of the marks would be deducted in that case. Alright, so that was the last question from my end. So whatever questions I discussed today, this was something that you have shared with us, right? So I hope that this session was fruitful for you. If you want us to do more sessions like this for doubt solving sessions, generally what we do is we post a form in the comment section wherein you can just, in the description, wherein you can just post all your doubts, and then we will come up live with that so that we can discuss whatever doubts you have. Very soon, library. Yeah. Yes, Rajinder, that's removed. Yes, Rush, we have got another session, that's why. Alright, so link for Telegram as well is given in the description. Please do join it because I do not want you to miss any other sessions from us, any updates from us. So we got you covered. Do not worry, and please like, share and subscribe. Please quickly hit the like button if you're liking these sessions. I'll see you soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.